What's up, guys? Metal571 here. Welcome to 2019. Geez, I feel old now. I wanted to update you guys on a couple things going on here. It seems like I've taken a mini hiatus. I'm sorry about that. Motivation has not been high recently. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and even recently I've thought about stopping, and it's you guys that keep me going. I appreciate it, but I think that the best option for me now, with my limited time, I don't want to have a second job outside of work, and this is starting to feel like a job. I'm going to be totally honest. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up the review format slightly. I'm not going to compromise on the things you guys actually come here for, which is sound description. That'll be the main focus of all reviews going forward here. And I'm going to have, you'll see it tomorrow. I'm going to put the SRH840 up with this format so you can kind of demo it for me and give me some more feedback. But instead of going into like excruciating detail on things like build and comfort and type of headphone and impedance, and these are things you can look up, you can find them on other channels, and I think when people come to this channel, they're looking for the sound description, they're looking for my detailed analysis of the sound description. So that's what I'm going to focus on now. It gives me less time that I have to spend with the headphone writing all these notes, and just go into the stuff that you guys really care about first. 'Cause I think most of you probably jump to the sound description, you jump to the conclusion first, then you come back if you want to see the rest of the detail. I think other reviewers are already covering that, and I think this works better for me. I know it sounds a little selfish, but honestly, I work full-time. You guys already know that, and this is like becoming a second job already, and I have so much stuff lined up that I need to get to. And in order to get to all of it in time, I'm going to need to shorten the reviews a little bit. But I'm going to keep... But, somebody said recently that when I posted that HD800S review, I thought it was very funny, was I covered more sound description in like 5 minutes than most reviewers do in the entire video. And that was the biggest praise I've ever had. And it got me thinking, along with, my mini hiatus here, which I've been very active. I've just, if you guys are on Discord, you already know that. But it got me thinking about I need to do something about the review format to make it easier to remove that barrier to me posting something and recording something. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that. Some other goals I wanted to talk to you guys about this year, using some of the money from Patreon and my ad revenue. I'm thinking about getting a measurement device finally. I mean, it's something that I've wanted for a long time. I've always wanted some kind of head and torso simulator or some kind of measurement system. It looks like flat plates are very unreliable, and so I'm probably not going to build a flat plate. The most obvious one that I could choose is the Mini DSP ears, which many of you probably are aware of. However, it does have some significant issues where if you compare it relatively on one headphone, the same headphone recorded on a professional head and torso simulator and the Mini DSP ears, you'll find that there's deviations, and it's not just the deviation away from the target curve between those two, or I should say, if you take the raw measurements of the two and you compensate them for the compensations of those two different measurement systems, and now you go and you try this with a couple different headphones, you'll find that the difference between what's measured on those two systems varies actually quite a bit, especially in the treble, and the ears has an issue with that. So it's not the best, but it's probably more accurate than most flat plates out there. But I'm not about to shell out like $30,000 on a hats. It's not the kind of budget I have for this channel. I know some people who have hatses, which is nice. And so, I mean, I could send stuff, but then I would be burdening them, drinking like, hey, measure this, hey, measure this, hey, measure this, and that's not what I want to do. I want to do my own measurements. So that's the road I'm heading toward there. I think I'm going to get any ears. We'll see what happens with that. So I also want to do sound demos, and I want to do them properly, which leads me to mention another fabulous channel I recently discovered called Clavinet Junkie. And this guy, I think his name's Olive, he does these crazy accurate sound demos and headphone reviews, and he's really spent an enormous amount of time trying to equalize the ears to sound like what the headphone sounds like in person. And so he plays an original recording, it'll play one of the headphones, and it'll play it on another headphone, and you can hear the relative differences in coloration between them, which is much more important than the absolute coloration. I have some ideas, some of my friends on Discord, about what we can do about absolute like more absolute comparisons. But I don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll see what happens. But you should definitely check out this guy's channel. I'll link it in the description as well. Clavinet Junkie, crazy awesome dude. And I also wanted to give a shout out here to Julian Kraus, because I ran across his channel recently, and he has some incredibly in-depth recording equipment reviews that you should definitely check out if you like microphones and stuff like this one, the Rode NT1 that I've been using for a long time. He explains things like self-noise and equivalent input noise, stuff that I've always wanted to actually look at in more detail. So that was a really cool channel as well. Anyway, getting off of plugging people's channels that I genuinely like, I also want to tell you guys that I got a new DAC and amp setup. I don't remember if I ever mentioned that I got a Topping D50, but I do have that, and now I also have a THX AAA 789, which is like the new flavor of the month, I guess. But that means that I have balanced. It's not true balanced, I know, but I have balanced power available to me now, and it's really nice that I can drive some difficult to drive headphones. One of the reasons why I got this thing is because I had the LCD4, actually I still have it, of course, in-house, and it is so hard to drive. Magni 3 was really struggling. I think I had gotten near or past 3/4 volume on that thing on some especially quiet test tracks, and I was like, this can't be good for the amp. Like, it shouldn't be stressing this much, so I needed something with more headroom, and so that's exactly where the THX came into play. And so far, that combo has been awesome. Like, it really sounds great. You guys know I'm not a DAC and an amp guy, so really all I can say is it sounds clean. Right? It's not really much of a sound to it. That's probably the biggest thing I can say about this setup, as far as I can tell, anyway. But yeah, the power is mainly why I wanted that, and of course, I wanted an OLED on my DAC. Who doesn't want an OLED on their DAC? Anywho, stuff that's coming up. You'll see the SRH 840 tomorrow, of course. The Nighthawk is coming. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. We've got a HiFiMan HE4XX. I've got a Focal LX in-house. Odyssey was nice enough to send down the LCD4 and the Mobius after that little mini podcast I did with them. Actually, it was just a live Q&A thing. And well, the Mobius I got a Mobius with beta firmware, so we'll be testing the mic on that. I actually haven't played with the mic yet, mainly just been listening to the new Warm EQ, which is really cool. But anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Of course, Antlion, after Reddit kind of like brigaded on Joe and Antlion, he was like, I guess I got to get you some new mod mic stuff. So I do have the Mod Mic Wireless, which I'll be trying, which sounds like an awesome thing because most wireless headsets are terrible. And that's due to the codec, and they've kind of reverse engineered a way to get a full quality Bluetooth codec going for a mic, which is really cool, I believe. And I've also got the XLR adapter for the Mod Mic, which I'll test probably as well, and maybe in a separate video, I don't know. And then on top of all that, I have an Audio-Technica A1000Z actually, which is a very bizarre, very unique headphone, because I mean, I have an A900X, so I kind of already know how strange it could be, but that's another fun headphone. So that's what's coming up. I wanted to give you guys an update. It's been a while since I made a video, so I figured I'd make a 2019 update because everyone's doing this anyway. And my wrist is getting so much better. I'm so happy that surgery seems like it went well. And I've got other things to tackle health-wise, which I am working on, and I will be working on more this year, finally. But yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to be affecting the reviews anymore, for sure. So I expect to see some more soon. 840 tomorrow, and hope you guys have a good year. See you soon.